had gained superiority over food on Earth and had become the peak of evolution. And they no longer needed my human interference to evolve. Or do they? However, in the meantime, life was good for them. They had fun dancing around the campfire and had strange rituals. They, of course, had interesting conversations and abilities to interact with the wildlife around them. It was good. Truly good times indeed. However, they had missed something very important. Clothes. And this was the beginning of the era of the very first clothing on this planet. Of course, there were many options, but they decided their very first clothing should be this skirt that stretches down and possibly could hold some religious reasoning, and that soon give rise to something that would shape the food kind forever. But we'll get back to that later. They also thought, what if we put feathers onto part of our poison squirting things? But that seemed painful, so they removed them. They also thought of getting masks, and yes, they decided maybe to put some leaf covering on part of their legs. Of course, it took many years of thinking and development till this would officially happen, but they then thought of this piece of clothing. They grew their skirts bigger, and they were now fully clothed. Then it was time once again to wonder about their future of their kind. Gibbeton, Greya, and the chieftain all thought together and decided to hunt a species known as the ape monster. However, they were quite bored with doing that and did not like doing that, so they decided to go full foraging for food, while the chieftain stood ground and kept guard for the rest of their pack. They had brought food back, finally. Their small supply of food would now be replenished with fruit. And then soon, the next newborn hatched out of the next egg. We couldn't have that much changes yet, but the chieftain decided to hunt one of the ape monsters, unlike the very unbrave other soldiers of their group. And the baby would stay guard of the place. He used his poison and spearing. And he had successfully destroyed the beast. But a tribe of tree monsters had suddenly appeared into the world. Of course, they were made by humans. And by camouflaging, they decided to make them out of cinnamon sticks. But oh, we would realize. The chieftain decided to collect as much meat. And Storglet, which was the name of the baby, had successfully grown to adulthood. At first, the tribe thought, what if we made peace with the humans to prevent them from attacking? After all, attacking wasn't the only option. And it seemed they definitely were probably peaceful. So, they decided to come over and play music for them. However, they forgot to invent instruments. It seemed we'd have to invent instruments. And it seemed wild animals were coming to steal our food. It's almost like they were a sign of bad luck. I mean, wild animals are about to just steal our food. But, I mean, the tribe was peaceful. What the? It's a Gojira third form. Shin Godzilla. You have to stop it. So, everybody had to, go back. Yes, go back. Then they had to go back and plan. Once again. What would they do with the tribe? It seemed because they were created by humans, I mean, a group of them just ignored us. They didn't just wave. Well, it would be worth a try to at least just use an instrument. Well, it seems everybody would have to grab one. They kept ignoring us, disencouraging us from deciding to befriend them. But since most of us had their wooden horns, we might be ready. Once the chieftain came, the rest of the pack followed, and they were ready to befriend them. It was time for the very first concert that was ever created by food creatures on this planet. A few of them started laughing for some reason. And our chieftain was already there, but... Huh. And more animals are coming to steal our food. Couldn't tame those things. I mean, they're stealing our food. We had to attack them. And our chieftain was really hungry anyway, so. But no, it must continue on. Even though he was losing health every second, we could still do it. Or not. As the rest of the tribe thought. And then they changed their minds. The chieftain was walking away, so we had to send him, even though he kept losing health every second. Everybody was ready. It was time for the very first concert in the world. But we couldn't bring up our instruments. They were complaining. And we were still having trouble. Everybody couldn't even play the instruments. Very strange. More of them passed by, not even sending a note. I looked at the throwing spears. It was hard. Should we send them? Most of our tribe, they were starving. We'd have to. So everybody appeared back. The chieftain said,
"We are starving, but we will not starve until we know what to do. That is what we'll do."
So they continued on trying to feed their starved chief. They then decided to bring back the food for the whole tribe. They sent over the food. And the chief fed himself. And he healed. The cinnamon stick tree people. One of them was still there. And only the chieftain came for some reason. Chieftain came back, and everybody was still wondering what to do. That was the main part of this very era. The great cinnamon tree person confusion. So anyway, the food was replenished, and nobody would starve anymore. Until food ran out, everybody would be happy and safe. Speaking of food, anyway, the tribe went on, and due to their new wooden horns invention, had thought very well about their future. Again, they placed more food. Once again, replenishing their food supply. After some time, all of them got confused. But then they thought it was time to add throwing spears. They all decided if they didn't want to become friends, well, they'd do the same. Because the human creations were what was against them. They first they had to, of course, add food. And everybody seemed mostly ready. The human creations wouldn't stand a chance. Everybody was equipped. And it was time. First they did a ritual around the campfire. That gave them good luck according to their new food religion. And those human creations would be destroyed. And, by the way, quick note, I forgot to mention the food religion. Food did not yet have knowledge of paleontology like us humans, but they had discovered a place where a meteor crashed and showed its respect by worshipping it as the source of life. So then they went over and traveled to the evil human creations. They had brought those creatures had brought maracas. But we would do the opposite. We were confused, but we attacked. We throwed spears at the chief, slowly taking him down. We sprayed our poison. And the battle, the very first war of our civilization, was about to begin. We took him down with spears, like hunting a mouse with a knife. It was done. We were much bigger than them. And it was extremely easy. But that isn't what would destroy their tribe. The survivors, which could help bring their tribe back, could be inside of the hut. So we had to make sure they never could re-heal from what we had done. It was the battle and the greatest war our kind has ever faced. It lasted seconds, if not minutes, or hours of time. We took down them with swift blows, and we had knocked down candles and fires, causing the place to burn. Us knocking on it had allowed flame to burst out. And this was the era. And this was the greatest war our kind has ever had. And we respected our meteor god by showing this monolith. We upgraded our tribe a few decades later. And life of their tribe would continue. But news of this defeat had summoned many others, such as the Pink Village, the Cyan Village, and the Green Village. Until wild animals started coming for our food. Most aggressive seemed to be the Cyan Village, but that is not what we were focused mainly on. Our tribe was ready, and their population would eventually grow. They went and saw that a tiny version of Godzilla, Shin Godzilla's third form, had appeared. Of course, this was a accidental human creation, if you haven't watched the movie. And for some reason, part of that guy's spine stretched. But no matter, even if we had the earliest form of vertebral problems, or whatever it's called, we'd be fine. Plus, we're made of food, and our spinal cords were made of Laffy Taffy after all. So our skeleton was made of gummy bears, stuff like that. Gummy bears, Sour Patch Kids, whatever. We were made of almost every food in existence, but our strange anatomy gave us some advantages. And our army decided to try to hunt ape, let's forget that. But anyway, the chieftain collected some of the food, and that was one of our earliest meals of meat after a while. And we placed all the meat, and one had even invented marshmallows. However, they just realized it was time for their celebration ritual to respect the meteor gods, the one who had given life to them. But they did have instincts that would figure out. By the way, our creature also had, sorry, they're being a little loud, but they also had a instinct in their minds which detected if a species was created by a human. Therefore, that's why they realized those things were created by humans after all. And, well, yeah, they're against humans. But they don't know where that meteor came from. Yep, their exact enemy. Why are you laughing? Why is everybody laughing? That's bad. That's a bad thing. This isn't the end, okay? Anyway. So, it was time for a new era of clothing besides grass, shells, and leaves. And they thought maybe they could add a hat of some sort. Yes, like this hat. It could protect them from the sun. And they had also invented facial grooming. I don't know what kind of food is stringy, but let's say cheese. Yes, their mustaches were made of cheese. They had evolved that over time and, you know, decided to change that into to make decorative parts of their body. They had also wondered if they could put these to protect sensitive parts of their poison squirters, which, by the way, were cupcakes, in case you did not realize. And their heads were made of sushi. Yes, they may look green, but, I mean, that's the color you get when you mash up every food anyway. It was time. They were watching the campfire with spears guarding the place, snacking on raw meats, which, well, technically them eating any food would be cannibalism since they're made of food, but anyway, they hunted the alpha ape monsters by using their sugar cupcake squirting devices. It took one of the alphas down in a quick strike. Glad I'm zoomed out because I cannot afford to show how they are cutting up the meat. But anyway, they take the slices of meat and they hold it in the air. They're of course adding more mold and spores into it. And then they create a line. Wait a minute. Everybody, a quick spear. Okay, just place the food. Place the food down. Place the food. Quickly. Raiders are gonna come. Okay, it might be the Pink Village. I think it's the Pink Village. I can tell from the map. Oh boy, I think they're almost here. Oh, they're here. This was the second war. The second war to ever happen. This was the second brutal war, but it was not as brutal as the previous one. It was still a massacre. They wouldn't give up. Of course they wouldn't give up. They kept attacking. They used their cupcake sugar spitters and hit him with the spears, and the chief hit him with the sharp end of his spear and the skull. And the second most brutal war to ever exist was over. They couldn't have new stuff, but it was time to do something their kind hasn't done ever before. They had made a ritual. The food creation that had once killed the pizzas. It would now aid them. It's beautiful. Thanks to the Alliance, to their new friend, and having them as a source of food, their kind were more ready than ever and had a great supply of food. They supplied themselves with more fish. But then they realized Cyan Village was there. They gave them a gift and decided to befriend these creatures, unlike the other village. The fisherman named Rail was fishing next to the village peacefully. Someone new was born. Her name was Lizabetta. The next to be born was Kimon, the prince. And Lizabetta was the daughter. And Crackle was somebody else. But over the eras, their kind had advanced, and so had their clothing. They had also became more intelligent with more advanced technology. They thought maybe they could make their saw-like tails look more intimidating. But they couldn't really do that. They didn't yet have any beards, but had decided the feathers could possibly be a decoration to honor the meteor that had caused life to exist on their planet. They had become more honored about what had caused life to exist on their planet in the first place. But remember, they don't know where it came from. They just thought it came from some sort of godlike being choosing a specific planet to have life to eventually evolve on it every few million years. They had evolved clothing for their parts of the legs. It was time for the new era to begin. The language they had made. Wait a minute, I forgot to mention the language. Yes, many cultures part of them. Yeah. They respond in a series of clicks and chirps, which form various combinations, and some of those clicks also have a certain, there's multiple clicks and chirps they can make, and those can mean different basic letters of their early language. Anyway, Delicia Conis were quite the advanced. And with 3 princes and princesses of the chief, they were slowly growing. And Lizabetta was the oldest, and Kimon was the second youngest, and the most young was, of course, I forgot what his name is, but anyway, they hunted fish. And That's it. Of course, their kids had invented something known as marshmallows. However, Isabella and her siblings kept it a secret because, of course, their parents might not approve of the invention due to it being sugary. Even though part of the brain was literally made of marshmallows. And, don't ask how they got it. But anyway, of course, the chieftain was on his way to change the tribe by taming one of these creatures known as the ape monsters. He tamed them using a treat, and we had earned an achievement. And the first ape monster to ever farm was put as a pet. It will fill the role of plow animals such as cows and horses. And, by the way, we had those Sharkosaurus as our defenders and friends, since we had become the Pizzasaurus Rex. Everybody decided that the Cyan village would officially become their friends. Nope, that was some ruins of the other village they had eliminated. The human creations were mad at them. They had maracas and torches. It was time to befriend them. They didn't have maracas, the most favorite instrument of this tribe. In fact, it was the only instrument they actually had. so they had to come back and try to advance. And it seems they couldn't afford it. So then they had to collect some food. And that food would in turn allow them to create maracas. It was a complex plan. They have to collect food to be able to afford the maracas, and if they had the maracas, then they would be able to actually have the right instruments to ally the Cyan village, and then they'd have a new ally which would in turn help them survive tribal stage. But with the apes on their side and the Sharkosaurus, they were highly protected. They had formed a line, placing the food to honor the gods that had given life to their planet and had ended the war that had once been on their planet. They could afford maracas and fishing spears. Both technologies highly advanced, but they basically decided to put the fishing spears closer to the ocean for more convenience. Their entire group was planning. They had once again formed a line. Form a line, form a line. Everybody form a line. Thank you, thank you. A few of them got maracas. And others, since a few of them already had the wooden horns, they probably were prepared for their alliance of them. They went as a group and were ready to befriend them. Well, one kept guard of the base. Huh, that's weird. I see a creature in the corner. Who's he? Huh. Strange. And also a few of them merged weapons with maracas. It's kind of weird, but you know. The wooden horns. Then the maracas. Then the wooden horns. Then the maracas. It was the greatest song ever written. We had followed what instruments you exactly wanted. Let's try that again. I don't care if wild animals are coming to steal the food. Yes! We done it! What the? Is that a human spaceship? Oh well, let's ignore that. There's a shadow in the distance, but we're probably fine. There's a human spaceship over us, but we're probably fine. We're okay. The very first alliance had been formed. And we had gained... Wait, is that a dark devil? No. Wait, why are we trying to, befriend them? Well, anyway. What was that weird sound? We had unlocked many things. Elizabetta had a daughter of her own named Classine. They forgot how to dance. And they forgot to do their ritual. And they'd also invented flaming torches, but... well, it's time to upgrade their outfit anyway. They had developed new hats, and the very first shoes and armor. They were quite the advanced. They had better clothing, natural weaponry like the cupcakes and saw. They were happy. And could make very terrifying roars. And they could flip with their athletic build, then punch and sit and sing a beautiful sound. They were the best. They had celebrated using the ritual, honoring the gods that had caused the meteor to fall on their planet, and respected him or her with great gratitude. And the Cyan village had officially also made friends. And when they got the gift, it was the perfect meal for their entire family. A few snacked on some raw fish. And they had conversations about inventing cake and maracas, which were already invented, and they were holding it right in their hands. One of them was talking about fish for some reason. Maybe fish maracas is what they were thinking? Sails was born. Raiders were spotted. Oh, this wasn't just going to be a raid to them. It was going to be worse. They had come from the riverside, the ocean's side, and they had to take them down. They used their spitting weapons and spears by bashing them with their weapons, smacking them and biting them and poisoning them all at the same time. But just in Abraham Lincoln's words, a good defense is a good offense. I also forgot to mention they invented backpacks in case you didn't realize. You can see right there, but the whole family, Elizabetta, her daughters and sons, and even the grandparents, they were all celebrating, but thinking in their minds, what should they think about great grandfather